So I posted a video this morning, or depending on when we let this video go, and it was actually showing you guys one of the resorts, the hotels here locally in Destin, and also showing you, after having discussed how a lot of people here are complaining that they don't have any money, they're losing their jobs. The gist of it was some of these jobs are being lost, not necessarily lost, but given away, because people are not doing what they need to do to maintain their employment. And now is going to be more important than ever, because I don't think that the window of opportunity is going to be very large for that margin of error. So you're going to see a lot of people getting laid off, a lot of job loss, a lot of companies going out of business, and ultimately putting people further down this hole of not having any money. Now, with that being said, there are some folks out here that are still gainfully employed, but still don't have a very large amount of money and would like to change that. So with that being said, I wanted to make this video here to elaborate a little bit more on what was discussed in that video, which was the idea of making content on YouTube that can ultimately generate income without even showing your face. So I don't think you've watched the video yet, but it was at Henderson Beach Resort when the family was here.
Okay, I love that
and
place.
What I did was I showed folks halfway, 3/4 of the way through the video, how they could ultimately make content on YouTube without ever showing their face.
Okay.
Now, I had an interesting question come up after that video, which was, hey Kevin, it's kind of hard for anybody to really justify and fathom the idea of making content at this luxurious resort after saying that they don't have any money. Well, folks, that may be part of the problem as to why you don't have any money, is because you set these limiting beliefs on yourself as to reasons why you can't have any money.
I guess people don't realize it doesn't cost you anything to walk in the door of places.
Well, that's just it. That's just it. And the faceless content that you would create doesn't necessarily have to be isolated solely to expensive luxury resorts. Like, it's just a simple principle and the idea that it could be done without showing your face. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail on this video about how to make a faceless channel, but I do plan on making more content for people interested on how to get started. And with that being said, I made a list, and the list was, in my mind, 5 things that I would do differently if I were to be starting a YouTube channel today, right now, 2023.
Okay.
5. Well, so far I've amended that list and I'm up to like 28. I'm up to like 28, so I'm working on putting together the full video for all on the list. I don't even know if I'll end at 28. It may be even more after I get started, after I get more feedback, after I get some replies and comments on this video. All right, now here's the important stuff, okay? And the important stuff is, if I were to start a new channel today, which I actually have, I've started a few, I believe you started 2 more, and this is real world, boots on the ground, insider intel from people who actually have done it and are doing it. And with the focus of, I'm not going to say spending no money, but potentially spending little to no money, because there are ways to pull this off with literally very, very few costs. And if you have the ability to watch this video, that means you have internet. That means you have access to a computer or tablet or smartphone or whatever device you're watching this on, or smart TV with internet access. That's a cost that could be considered, but you're already incurring that cost without using it to your advantage to produce income and revenue. So I'm not going to include that in this cost. So if you're already watching this video and you have those things, then when I say little to no money, you could probably pull this off with little to no extra money necessary to make this happen. So, things that I would do differently starting a channel in 2023, and you know, you feel free to chime in, but my list is long. My list is long, but just get started. I was actually thinking about this today, where I actually had this idea of a metaphor where if you had a video, and in that video you were continuously counting dollars, counting money, and people would probably wonder, like, well, why is there a stack of money being piled up in this video? Only to realize that by the end of the video, you have a large stack of money. Then you add up how much is there. And it could be a substantial amount. It could be $300, it could be $3,000, it could be $30,000. It doesn't matter what the number is. The point is that whatever that final number is, seemingly a lot, that a lot of people may look at and say, oh wow, that's a lot of money. I could never save that much at one, or make that much at one time, or have that much at one time. The point of it is that you don't do it all at one time. You do it little by little, and then eventually it all adds up, which is exactly how I look at YouTube. Make one video, just make one video, and then make another one. Like, try to make one a day. And I can actually tell you guys with certainty that someone that we know is actually executing on that right now. And I think is really identifying and seeing just how easy it is to accomplish this simple task without overthinking it, and also identifying the gaps and time, the wasted time available usually in a day that could be put towards this. Now granted, there are trends, there are techniques and strategies in which you can accelerate this growth process on YouTube, but you can't accelerate something that doesn't exist. So if you don't make the videos, if you don't even start, then you'll never get anywhere close to where you want to be. Ironically, somebody asked a question this morning and they said, I've got a channel, I've got a few videos, I've got a few subscribers, but I'm not getting anywhere. And I looked at the channel, and within about 30 seconds, I could clearly see, I'm not gonna say that I saw anything wrong, but I could clearly see what more could be done that would be right, that would change the trajectory of this channel, its growth. And the best part about it is, especially if you know who you are, who left this comment, the best part about it is that this person has no problem recording. Okay. This person has no problem recording. My GoPro does. Yeah. This person had no problem recording. Let's try this again. This person had no problem recording, but and they had no problem recording. They had no problem editing. They had background music. It was well put together. But there's just a few things that are being overlooked that can go from you're making content, you're making good content, to you're doing great, you're making great content, and you're getting reach, you're getting suggested, you're getting recommended, and you're getting more subscribers and more views, ultimately reaching the monetization requirements and then having the ability to earn revenue and income. With that being said, you don't have to wait until you reach 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 watch hours, and that 4,000 watch hours is within 365 days, or even now reaching 10 million shorts views, but that is within a 90-day period, because you can find ways, there's a variety of ways out there to monetize content day one without YouTube, Google AdSense ad revenue. So just to put that out there. With that being said, I'm open to questions and requests on future videos on how to get this done. But also, ironically, I don't think that very many people are going to watch these videos whether it's because YouTube doesn't serve it to them, they're not super interested in it, or they say they want it, but they don't really want it. Which, I don't know if I can say that that's something that I would do differently, because I don't think I've slacked off in executing on content creation since this channel was started back in February.
You have definitely not.
So I guess let's just leave on one note, being if there was one thing you would do differently starting a new channel, what would it be?
Not tell my friends and family about it.
That's a good one.
Because it makes it so that you find yourself filtering the things that you say to not bother anybody you may possibly know. That's
a good one. I'm pretty sure that's on my list. If not, it will be. But the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably like a lot of creators' #1 rule for other creators is don't tell anybody. Because you could tell people, and then obviously you'll automatically, hopefully, pick up some subscribers. But really what you don't want people to subscribe to you for, because they know you. You want people to subscribe to you because they like the content that you create.
Yeah. And
then with that being said, the content that you create needs to be for you.
Yes.
Because if it's for you, for them, it's just completely different. But that doesn't mean you have to run out, and this is going to tie into why a lot of people don't get started. You don't have to run out and buy expensive equipment, cameras, lighting, drones, microphones, tripods, gimbals, computers, software, all that stuff. You don't need it. There's, I don't know how many channels out there that I can point to, that I can show you guys that execute and make a lot of money from very little equipment. Actually, I'll tell you one right now. And that was like really stupid.
The most pointless thing I've ever seen.
I'll tell you one right now. And he's been doing this for years, and despite his success and his growth and the millions of subscribers and millions of views, or hundreds of millions, if not billions of views that he has now, he still records exactly the same way that he did when he first started, using an old iPhone and a wired lapel mic. And his name is Doug DeMuro. And he has access to some of the coolest cars that you'll ever see on YouTube, because you'll probably never see him in real life. And he has nothing special, but he makes content for him that he likes, that he enjoys, which is car reviews, and he shares them with the world. So does his family subscribe? I don't know. Does his friends subscribe? I don't know. But what you really want are the people interested in what you have to bring, and that's all that really matters. With that being said, don't discount and take for granted what you could potentially have to bring to the world. However complex or potentially simple that you think it may be, more than likely, odds are there's a huge audience out there interested in it already, and or how you have your way of specifically bringing it to them. That makes sense?
Yeah. I was thinking that the telling your friends and family to go subscribe to your channel when they may have zero interest in what you're doing is like opening a butcher shop and inviting all your vegan friends to come hang out. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's certain things that
they want to, but they want to support you.
They want to support you, but it probably isn't their cup of tea, and in the long run, it doesn't really, you don't need it. So,
yeah, that's it. I don't really know where else to go with this one on this particular video. I'll say that, I don't know. I didn't look at my list and see if there's anything on my list, because my list is really, it's not what I would do different, because it's really everything that I have done. It's really everything that I have done to get to this point. So it's really more for clickbait, because people, in my opinion, whether it's the people and or the algorithm, which the algorithm is based on the theoretical AI perception of the people, they want negativity, they want tragedy, they want problems, they want something to be wrong.
Yeah.
So instead of saying the 28 best ways to start a YouTube channel for 2023, I could just say everything that I would do differently. But for the most part, it's all everything that I've done. So I don't really know what I would do differently.
You couldn't do anything differently now, because then you wouldn't be where you are. I don't know.
All right, the only thing that I could say that I would do differently, which is really odd, would be I would have done it sooner.
Makes sense. You should have.
For the longest, everyone was like, Kevin, get from behind the camera, get from behind the computer, and get in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one thing I would do differently, is I would have been in front of the camera sooner.
Yep.
We'll leave it at that. But I do want to show you guys a simple and easy way how you could accomplish this faceless video, and I'll show you a little sample clip of me recording my own. And if you guys want to see the end result, there's a link in the description.